her. You stand in court, Mr. Milford, and you say it never happened.
I was working 2 jobs. I never had time for all this sex. I don't know where all this sex came from.
So
I
you
had that much sex. We would have 15 children.
You jumped out of the window at 3 a.m.
Correct.
Who jumped out the window?
She did.
I was trying to get free from him.
But see, the whole
He's
thing
crazy.
is, she leave the house every time. There's always when a private car come, or it's after 3 a.m. That's the only time he able to get away from his wife, so-called.
What?
That's it.
How are you getting up at 3 a.m. and leaving the house?
Mr. Fegan has popped into court to prove he's Ms. Pinkston's biological dad, but Ms. Pinkston not having it. For her, her real dad is the guy who raised her, and she only even met Mr. Fegan at 16. Now, flash forward 30 years, and here they are meeting in court. Ms. Pinkston's face says it all. This isn't the family reunion she asked for.
I met Mr. Fegan here when I was 16 years old. I never knew of him, never heard nothing about him. And then all of a sudden one day, my mom decided to take me with her to a friend's house. My mom calls me to the dining room. She goes, I want you to meet somebody. They get to talking to me, Mr. Fegan, and my mom. Then my mom just out says, hey, by the way, this is your father.
Who did you think your father was? Did you know your father?
Oh, wow. This just keeps getting juicier. Ms. Pinkston's mom casually dropped a bombshell like it was nothing. She just told her that the man she's grown up with, her dad all these years, doesn't mean a thing. Instead, this new guy, Mr. Fegan, is supposedly her real father. Imagine dropping that news on a teenager. Talk about life flipped upside down. No wonder Ms. Pinkston is so skeptical.
Well, yes, at the time, it was wrong what we...
How long did the affair last?
5 or 6 months, maybe somewhere. I mean, she came to me before I left the job and told me that she was pregnant.
When she told you, did she say, and I think you are the father? Or you might be?
I was the father. And she told me we're going to keep this a secret. Well, then we knew we had to be quiet because she was married.
Oh, here we go. The drama is just beginning to show. Turns out Ms. Pinkston was actually the result of an affair. Yep, all those years ago, her mom had a fling and Mr. Fegan entered the picture. Now that alone is wild enough. But imagine all the emotions Ms. Pinkston must be on, knowing she's the product of something that hurt her dad, Mr. Pinkston, so deeply. It's pretty sad to think about, honestly, how everyone involved has been carrying this secret around for years.
That was like the worst day of my life. Because my mom sit down, she goes, this is your father. I'm like, no, my dad is at work, so what in the world are you talking about? And next thing you know, there's tears everywhere. Everybody's crying. It was pretty much the worst day of my life.
What did her mom think would happen? Some kind of instant bond? Ms. Pinkston was a teenager. Of course she called it the worst day of her life. Imagine finding out that the dad who raised you isn't even biologically related and being expected to just embrace this new guy? That's brutal.
My dad passed away never knowing the secret from the time I was 16 until I was 27. We never spoke of this subject, ever.
So at 16 years old, you were called upon to keep this secret as well?
Yes.
And you had to. You never spoke a word of it. You all asked a 16-year-old girl to keep a secret like that, Mr.
No, we did not. I did not ask her to. Her mom.
She kept that secret for years. The man who raised her died without ever knowing, like she was somehow guarding her mom's secret for both of them. Expecting a teenager to carry that kind of weight is intense, Mr. Fegan.
She never would call me her father or...
I never called my father because my father died. So it never felt right to call some other man dad when my dad passed away.
And I understood that, you know, I did. It hurt me that she couldn't, and all these years, I believe. I always thought he had some kind of inkling that...
Naturally, she didn't call you dad. How could she, Mr. Fegan? After all the love and loyalty she's shown to the father who raised her, did you really expect her to just jump ship? Especially when she's been carrying the burden of this secret alone for so long. It's impossible.
Well, to tell me about it, how come they didn't just let everything out the bag and everybody sit down and everybody talk about it?
I can't imagine having to get such life-altering news at that point. What did you feel like when you were looking at the man you believed to be your father?
I was daddy's little girl, kids, and I still lived home with my mom and dad. I never left my mom and dad's side.
If it wasn't broken, why try to fix it? Ms. Pinkston adored the father who raised her. He was her whole world. So when Mr. Fegan stepped into her life, he must have felt like an imposter, like someone disrupting her peace. To her, he might have been trying to take away her happiness, while he, on the other hand, just wanted a chance to be her dad.
And I heard it, but I act like I didn't hear it.
What did you hear?
that Kenny was her father.
Who did you hear say that?
My mom and a couple friends. This is something my mom didn't want none of her kids to know. But it took for my dad to pass away, for all these dark secrets to come out that should have stayed in. And I feel, even though he's gone, it's still disrespectful.
Just look at the ripple effect this secret had on everyone. People think kids don't notice or understand, but this proves they're paying attention, and they get it. This case is absolutely something.
My only surviving child. I lost my son, and they were awful close.
Yes.
They were closer than me and her.
Really?
I was very close to him.
Did you look at him and say, you know, does he look like my brother? Is this really my brother? Or did you just accept him in your life?
Isn't it heartbreaking? She's his only surviving child, and now she has to navigate this paternity drama after losing her brother. It's like grief just keeps knocking at her door, and here she is in paternity court, trying to step out of this messy family web. The only way to get some clarity is through the results. Let's see what they have for us.
Mr. Fagan.
Yes.
You are not her
Oh
father.
my God.
Oh, Lord, no.
Oh,
Oh, no. No. Tanya. Oh, no. Oh, Tanya, Lord have mercy, Jesus, no.
Are you all right, Tanya?
Mr. Andrews is ready to air some serious grievances in court. After an 8-year relationship, he's calling out Ms. Haddle for being a serial cheater and a liar. The couple is here now because Mr. Andrews questions whether he's the biological father of their 1-year-old child. Trust issues have popped up, and now everyone will walk away with the truth today.
Pregnated another female while he was living with me. So I moved to Kansas and got away from him. We then started our relationship back, and I had planned on having another child with him. So I did get pregnant. Amarella came, and I think the doubts came because she looks different than our other child.
How does Mr. Andrews relate to Amarella because of his paternity doubt?
He calls his child and Amarella not in front of.
Oh, what a web these two have woven. Turns out, Mr. Andrews isn't just a wronged party. He's been playing the field too. He cheated on Ms. Haddle and even got another woman pregnant. Now he's throwing shade at Ms. Haddle for her infidelities while completely ignoring his own.
And the same person who I see was text message from, the same guy who she was having an affair with all along from the whole get-go. So when I seen that text message, my whole thought process was, it's gotta be his baby.
What did you read in them?
I let you have it anytime, and now you chicken, you're scared to come over.
Ms. Haddle, is that what these text messages
No.
said?
I can't tell you word for word. It was
I know
sexual.
word for word.
I bet he does know word for word, but I don't, so I'm not gonna disagree, but anyhow.
Wow, Mr. Andrews is really laying it all out there. He's pretty much holding a master class on betrayal in court, and Ms. Haddle isn't even trying to deny the steamy texts. She knows she's caught red-handed. Of course, her husband remembers every word she sent to another man. It's hard to forget when the evidence is right in front of you.
Correct.
Who jumped out the window?
She did.
I was trying to get free from him.
But see, the whole
He's
thing
crazy.
is, she leave the house every time. It's always when a private call come, or it's after 3 a.m. That's the only time he able to get away from his wife, so-called.
What?
It was that said.
Wait a minute. So she gets a private call.
Right.
Then she leaves the house.
Right.
And it's 3 a.m.
Right.
How are you getting up at 3 a.m. and leaving the house?
What a circus these two have created. Seriously, who jumps out of a window at 3 a.m.? If Ms. Haddle was making a dramatic escape because Mr. Andrews barricaded the door, that's a whole new level of chaos. These two need to figure out their issues before they end up on a reality show.
Barricading my front door.
Where were you going?
I was going to find.
He has 2 other children
Three.
outside. 3 other children outside of the relationship?
During our relationship.
No.
Yes.
My
What
son-
kind of mess is this?
She's lying.
Right.
She's lying. She's lying.
You gonna get the side eye now. 3 children? Let me get back to this exhibit. Found a condom
So at
in the
least
car.
I was using protection and it ain't.
Whoa, hold up. If Ms. Haddle is jumping out of windows at 3 a.m. to find comfort, and Mr. Andrews is seeking solace in other women's beds, why are they even together? It sounds like these two need a serious reality check. They're both clearly looking for love in all the wrong places. Maybe it's time to cut their losses and find their comfort elsewhere, separately.
My daughter, the daycare, every morning, I don't want to get the dress, take daycare every morning. Little dirty people couldn't even take the condom and throw it away.
If you find a condom in the car.
So
And
wait,
I showed you.
it was a dirty condom? condom?
It was dirty condom. One of those just a pack
I
condom.
don't agree with that because I didn't see it. He didn't show me that. He showed me a box.
Ms. Hadel, did you have sex with a guy in the car?
Yes.
No.
What a hot mess we've got here. Ms. Hadel is looking way too pleased with herself after claiming there's no proof of cheating just because her husband didn't find a dirty condom. Seriously? He found a box of condoms in the car that he didn't put there.
He's insecure about it because he's
No, I
cheated
ain't
and he's made all
insecure.
these babies.
No, I'm not.
So
I
he wants to
see
throw all the
proof.
blame on me.
I see
But
proof.
I'm a
She feel like I can't
grown,
read.
excuse me, I'm a
And
grown
I've been to
woman,
3 different
and I'll
colleges.
take
And she knows
the
I can
fault
read.
for what
she
I
would take
did.
a text message
but
and turn the text message
He's
straight
got
around.
text messages too.
Okay, but
I'm
I
not
don't
bringing
turn-
that
I
up.
don't
It's not
turn
about
around,
that.
though.
It's about Amarella knowing who her daddy is, and I know who her
Okay,
daddy
you
is.
said 2 other
act like
guys
you don't.
was, and you said 2 other guys was.
What is even happening here? These two are throwing tantrums like toddlers. If they're acting like this in paternity court, can you imagine the chaos at home? Judge Lake is so fed up with their antics, and honestly, it must be rough for that poor baby going home with them.
So 8 months pregnant, I find out there's another female pregnant in the same town that we're living in. I'm about to give birth a month later. He was there, got to see this first child born out of whatever 6 or 7 children that he does have. This is the first child that he got to see born. So that was very special for him and me as well, having him there. He was there the whole pregnancy, took care, rubbed my back.
Seriously, how did this woman stick around after he fathered 3 kids outside their relationship? If he's out here collecting baby mamas like Pokemon cards, why are they still together? What's the point of clinging to a relationship with someone who clearly isn't committed?
There's a man
I've never been
who you
sexual
know
with
I
this
had
person.
contact with, they had physical contact with over this situation.
'Cause he's delusional.
And then as soon as I
He thinks I've
leave,
been
you
sexual
had
with
this
this
man
person.
at the house where I just left from.
He's delusional.
And then you showed me on the phone like, ha 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 ha. When you know, that's not funny. I didn't find that funny about Farrah. Then she lying about the married dude. She's still in contact with him. She just made a 2 lies up just then.
What a circus. These two are just going back and forth like it's a tennis match, completely missing the point of being in paternity court. Instead of focusing on their baby girl, they're caught up in their usual drama. It's honestly sad to see them squabbling instead of addressing the real issue at hand. Let's get this wrapped up already.
Mr. Andrews, you are the father. You have tears in your eyes. How do you feel in this moment?
I love her regardless. It's my daughter's sister, so it didn't make me no difference if I was or wasn't. I just wanted to prove.
Oh, it didn't?
Yes, it did.
I'm tired of you talking in circles, Mr. Andrews.
Miss Capples is stepping up to the plate with her 15-month-old son, Jason, right beside her, pointing the finger at Mr. Harris as the father. The energy in this case is crazy.
Mr. Harris started talking. We used to go to high school together.
I didn't go to high school with her.
And we were Facebook friends.
That's-
Mr. Harris, I made him my man crush Monday. He's a good guy, hardworking, good father. We messaged back and forth on Facebook for a while.
Miss Capples came in ready for drama. She pulled out her son's birth certificate and wanted Mr. Harris to sign it right there, and in front of his girlfriend, Miss Mayfield, no less. It's pretty clear Miss Capples is just as interested in getting a reaction out of Miss Mayfield as she is in proving paternity. Meanwhile, Miss Mayfield is definitely not thrilled about this blast from the past being dragged into their relationship.
Are you now with Ms. Mayfield in a relationship?
Ma'am, that's when I had got with her in a relationship.
She was around 5 months.
She got jealous of what me and...
What is there to be jealous about? I don't care about you guys being together.
Miss Mayfield, Miss Mayfield.
Yes,
So go
Sit her
ahead.
down.
Well, basically, when we started dating, he told me about the situation and was like, I was talking to some girl. I may have a possible baby with her,
Miss Capples didn't just come with paperwork, she brought a whole timeline. She presented Jasion's conception window, courtesy of her doctor, proving she and Mr. Harris were together consistently, right up until just after Jason was conceived. But then Mr. Harris was asked a simple question and somehow managed to tangle himself up even more. Classic.
I'm pretty sure I told him my name. Would you remember Shantira or would you remember Muffin? Would I go by around town?
If you having sex for that many months with the same person
Wasn't that-
without using any protection,
Mr. Harris held firm, swearing that the social media rumor mill convinced him Jason isn't his son. Imagine the chaos of everyone online telling you the kid isn't yours. From day one, he's been questioning it, wondering if he's the last to find out the truth.
At work.
he didn't have a ride?
Have a ride to
No,
the
I was at the
hospital.
work when she delivered the baby. The next morning I came up there. And
You did?
When I looked at him, he didn't look like me at all.
No, he does
and
not.
I had my doubt. I had been had my doubts, but like I say, everybody around town says that.
Oh, Miss Capples is not backing down. down. She's got her receipts, she's got her son, and she's not about to let Mr. Harris escape this showdown. The back and forth heats up as she pushes for him to take responsibility, and he's holding tight to his suspicions. What a whirlwind.
If I'm telling you that I'm in labor,
well, she called my
2 hours
she
before
did call
time,
my cell phone.
And my friend had my cell phone, and she was texting him the whole time like, she's in labor.
So by the time he never showed, you were angry, and so then you didn't.
I wouldn't care. I wasn't worried about that. Him signing the birth certificate at that point.
Oh, it's getting spicy in the courtroom. Miss Capples and Miss Mayfield are practically ready to leap at each other. With both women tangled up in drama, it's clear this case is more about the feud than the facts. Meanwhile, poor Jason is just trying to figure out who his dad is amid all this chaos. Judge Lake has her hands full.
Cut me off.
Yeah, that's the time y'all stopped talking.
Girl.
I know, boo. I know the whole story.
I'm sure you do, because you were there, right? And you were there. I was already pregnant, and I didn't even know I was pregnant.
That's nasty.
Hold on now.
I don't go out. What are you talking about?
Because you could easily give him to him when he did. He don't have
would
to
be
drive
out
somewhere.
too. You would have out with the kids. What you talking about?
No, he don't.
All right, one at a time, ladies.
And just like that, Miss Mayfield's moment in the spotlight turned sour. After she lit into Miss Capples, Judge Lake swiftly served up some accountability right back to her. No one in that courtroom is escaping Judge Lake.
So it's easy to blame Miss Caples, but you also have to look at your man. Because he participated.
My man at the time.
It doesn't matter. It's your man now.
I was actually there in the beginning, like buying Pampers and clothes and stuff. But like I said, Miss Cables.
What a twist! Miss Capples had been holding back a key part of the story this whole time. She claimed Miss Mayfield wasn't just a bystander, but had been stalking her. What do you mean, Ms. Capples?
Going surgery, getting ready to have my tubes tied.
That is my job. That is my job.
What's your honor? As a woman, I would not want to be in a room with a woman that's having my boyfriend's baby.
Okay, so you as a patient,
that's a little too much.
But wait a minute, Miss Caples. She does. You work at the hospital, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Wait, what? Turns out Miss Mayfield actually works at the hospital where Miss Capples received care. Now, was she attending to her on purpose? That's the question. But just as things reach peak tension, the DNA results are in, and you won't believe the verdict.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Harris, you are not the father.
Thank you.
You didn't sleep with no one else.
Miss
I
Caples.
would like to publicly apologize to Mr. Harris.
Mr. Robinson isn't buying Ms. Mitchell's story that she was a virgin before him, especially since he found out she was involved with 4 other men at the same time. Today, Ms. Mitchell doubles down on her claim, insisting that she was absolutely a virgin before meeting him.
I was hanging out at these apartment complexes, and we hooked up, so I lost my virginity, and I found out I was pregnant 3 weeks later.
So, Mr. Robinson, is that account true?
No, Your Honor. We hooked up one time.
Well, that's about all you need.
Yeah.
Mr. Robinson discovered that Ms. Mitchell was seeing multiple men. So how did he even find out that she was sleeping with multiple men? Like, how did that even get into the equation?
Honor, she had one of her friends she grew up with inboxed me and her on Facebook and said, I'm not trying to start no drama. I thought I'd let you know that she had sex with 4 other guys, okay?
Let me get this story straight. You start getting messages from the peanut gallery.
Yes, Your Honor, from her best friend, Your Honor.
Telling you.
My best friend wouldn't say that.
Ms. Mitchell says that the man who claimed to have taken her virginity is lying, and that she has no clue who informed Mr. Robinson about her past. She argues that Mr. Robinson didn't attend their child's birth because his other baby mama stopped him. To back her up, her mother testifies that this incident really happened.
Three's better than to lay around sleeping with men. I have no clue where they come up with that. No clue whatsoever where they come up with 4 men. That is not true. And as far as him saying that he was in jail, I have proof right here.
Oh, and of course, Heather's his other baby mama. And yeah, she's in court too, with plenty to say. It's definitely strange seeing Heather in court defending her fiancé against his other baby mama, but hey, love makes people do some pretty weird things, doesn't it?
I've never done anything to this girl, ever. I've never disrespected
She's
her.
immature
I never
and childish,
she's on
Your Honor.
Facebook
She's 18 years old and she's immature and childish. That's my point.
She updated her status about me all the time. And that I was on Facebook talking about her, and I was.
Oh, who cares? Who cares?
Yeah,
who cares?
Mr. Robinson calling Ms. Mitchell 18 and immature is just ridiculous. Didn't he realize that before he slept with her? Anyway, let's shift gears. Now we've got Ms. Heather stepping up to share her side of the story. Let's hear what she has to say.
I've tried being civil with Hope. Like, she had messaged me on Facebook when me and Ryan was split up, telling me that she was sorry for the way that she was acting.
yeah.
We need to be civil, like, I have kids, whatever. And she, like, agreed to that. But then when it all came down to it, it was...
Here we are with everyone yelling and completely ignoring the well-being of the innocent child at the center of it all. Watching this mess, it's no surprise that Mr. Robinson, Ms. Mitchell, and Ms. Heather landed in paternity court. Now, Mr. Robinson is speaking up about what he'll do if he's the father. Let's see where this goes.
God, on everything that I love, I have not known my father for 20 years. And yes, I haven't, but I know who my father is now. I don't want Riley to grow up like that. If she is mine, by all means, I want to give her everything and anything.
Have you ever met Riley?
He won't let us.
She
She's
will not let me.
drama.
The only way...
Isn't that a bit much? Mr. Robinson clearly isn't going to leave the mother of his child over Ms. Mitchell, and if they do end up getting married, Ms. Heather will become the child's stepmother, so she'll have to be part of the child's life. But before we get to the results, Mr. Robinson does the funniest thing to try and prove the baby isn't his.
I don't want her around my
Your
daughter
Honor, she
either.
doesn't even look like me or my son.
She looks like, I got evidence.
She doesn't even look like me or my son, who is a spitting image. My son, and when I tell you he's a spitting image of me,
just like Hope.
my son is a spitting image of me. Like, and when I tell you that,
Hold on, what is this evidence you have? Jerome, will you please hand me this evidence?
The baby may or may not resemble Mr. Robinson, but at this point it really doesn't matter. We're about to see the DNA test results and find out once and for all if this baby is truly his.
Mr. Robinson, you are the father. So now, before I ask Ms. Mitchell if it would be okay if you meet your daughter for the first time, I have to say, concerning the arbitration where you were asking the court for $337.50, that's what you would be entitled to if it was determined that Mr. Robinson was in fact Ryland's biological father.
Mr. Mason claims he lost all trust in Ms. Malone after his spies discovered she'd been cheating on him while he was away at work. Okay, Secret Service agent, that's how this case kicks off. Let's see where it goes from here.
I really want to know if Avery's really mine or if she isn't.
And so, take me back. I want to understand the nature of this relationship.
Okay, when me and Miss Malone actually first met, we met on a website. I took her out on a date. We went to somewhere to eat.
So this started out as a regular courtship.
Yes,
You
Your
went
Honor.
on a date.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. Malone?
Oh no, really? Like a criminal? That's some seriously shady behavior, Ms. Malone. So it's no wonder there are questions about paternity. But let's hear more about this sneaking around.
But there was a break because he wasn't showing me any attention.
We wasn't on a break at all. We wasn't on a break.
Were you all
my
committed?
knowledge, we was in a relationship
Your Honor,
still.
yeah, we've been on and off for 3 years now. Right now, we're off.
Are you living together?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Your Honor.
You're off, but you live together?
Yes, Your Honor.
It's been like that.
How's that work?
A lot is at stake with today's results. Mr. Mason still hopes to build a life with Ms. Malone, but it all hinges on how this trial turns out. For now, let's hear Mr. Mason explain a bit more about this sneaking around situation.
That she was going out the back door and down the alley to jump in somebody's car.
I was actually coaching a local cheerleading team in our city, and a guy had came to pick me up to take me to our game that we had that day. It was no relations, it was, we were strictly friends, and that was it.
There it is. People often don't understand that trying to explore your options while claiming to be committed to someone else is never a wise move. Because, surprise, one of those options can land you in paternity court, and that's definitely not a good look. But Ms. Malone claims she has a valid reason for wanting to explore her options.
Moved in with us after probably a month or 2 months after we met.
Moved in with you and, you say us?
Me and my family members.
Okay, you and your oh, he moved in?
Yes.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So the bottom line is very quickly after you met, all of a sudden you were living together.
Watching my front door, who lived right across from where we lived at.
Hold up, Mr. Mason says that his watchdog told him that someone came over while he was at work, and Ms. Malone said it was her father. And then Mr. Mason called her father up and he confirmed it. So if he confirmed it, why does Mr. Mason think she cheated on him?
Did he give descriptions of all of them?
No, Your Honor,
Yes,
it was
Your
not.
Honor. Yes,
no,
Your
it
Honor,
wasn't.
he actually did.
No,
yes,
it wasn't.
Your Honor, he actually did.
When I cheated on Mr. Mason. We was having problems in our relationship because the simple fact he was not showing me any attention. He just wasn't being a man that I expected him to be.
Okay, so let me say this. When it comes to the window of conception, that's what's relevant as it relates to the paternity.
And there we have it, folks. Mr. Mason has a very valid paternity question. Ms. Malone cheated on him multiple times and did not use protection, which is crazy, and she did all of that within the window of conception. Of course it gets worse.
So when you found out you were pregnant, did you tell the other guy it could possibly be his child as well?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
When you told Mr. Mason you were pregnant, did you also say to him, and you know because I cheated, it could possibly be the other guy's child as well?
Yes, Your Honor.
So she did tell you that, Mr. Mason?
Yes, Your Honor.
Why'd you hesitate?
But I had to find out.
Wait, what? That is like the worst way to find out that your kid might belong to another person. Ms. Malone did not even have the decency to break the news to him herself. This is what she says happened.
I found out I was pregnant with her. He had so much anger, he decides to announce it with a room full of our friends and my mom.
Your Honor, I had anger for the simple fact that I was working all these hours trying to provide for my family.
That is crazy behavior, but can you blame him? His partner was sneaking around and exploring with other men. The anger from that may just have driven him mad, but Ms. Malone has one more evidence up her sleeves.
This is me, LaQuisha Malone. Do you know who this is? Me again. Do you know this is Avery? Mr. Mason, it's not. Me. Yes, it is. You can't tell me that's not Avery. Mr. Mason, okay, I'll show you. Me. No, Marcus, don't argue with me. It's Avery. Me. I'ma show you casing.
That's not the most convincing argument, but it's probably the best we'll hear in paternity court. Now it's time to wrap up this case and find out who the father of this baby really is.
Mr. Mason, you are not her father. What are you feeling in this moment, sir?
I'm mad, Your Honor, but I can't be really mad about something that I already knew.
Ms. Malone, this other person, have you asked him whether he would be interested in being a part of Avery's life?
We've got a superhero in court today. Ms. Woods is a proud, fast breeder. And no, we're not just calling her that. She said it herself and calls it her superpower. According to her, fast breeding is a superpower, and it's her thing. And this time, she's used these superpowers to get pregnant for this man, Mr. Volmar, who is denying everything.
I was going through some issues with my other kid's father, and one night I went to the club and wound up running into Mr. Volmar. He actually walked up to me while I was having a drink, and he whispered in my ear and told me that I looked like something that he could see himself with.
So here we are at paternity court. Ms. Woods argues that the condom popped and she told him that he was in trouble. Ha ha ha. Here's exactly how she put it.
I told him, like, I'm a fast breeder. Like, I have 4 other kids. So
a fast breeder?
Yes, I'm a fast breeder.
Definitely a fast breeder.
Let's just say fertile.
Yes, I'm fertile. I'm sorry.
Okay.
He told me he was in a relationship for 5 years, and the girl wasn't able to.
Yeah, that's it. Mr. Volmar says he never thought Ms. Woods' child was his. Like, that's not crazy enough. He says he just told her congratulations when she got pregnant. What a guy. So why did he even think he isn't the baby's father?
Remember the night that the condom broke? There was a couple of nights the condom broke, and I just said, you know what? If I got it, I already got it. Who needs condoms anymore?
So wait, you're admitting that then you started having unprotected sex with her?
Oh, a lot of it.
Okay, so the point is that you admit that you could be this child's father.
I don't know.
It seems like Mr. Volmar is unfamiliar with Ms. Woods and her fast breeding game. You heard her right the first time, Mr. Volmar. That's what she does. You're with a fast breeder, so get used to it. Here is what she had to say too.
Yeah, he wasn't the father because I was staying with a man at the time.
You lived with him. You just can't visit me.
It does not matter. I was at your house every day, so how I had time to have sex with you and have sex with him?
Wait a minute now, Ms. Woods.
In the bed with him. I mean, of course you're gonna have sex.
Ms. Woods, if you were living with him.
What a guy. Heat of the moment? Well, now the moment's really hot and you've got to step up to the plate if you're the dad, Mr. Volmar. Mr. Volmar still isn't accepting the reality of things because he still believes he was a good side piece. What a guy.
I'm the side piece. I'm a good side piece.
So wait a minute. You had Mr. Volmar
She'll be on the phone with her boyfriend. I'll be laying in the bed, rubbing on her booty while she's talking to him. Okay, I was a good side dude. I didn't say anything. He had no problems. come over whenever you want. We had fun.
Oh, Lord.
Even Judge Lauren is tired of all of this, and this case is about to get even crazier. Ms. Woods cannot even get a word out without Mr. Volmar interrupting her with some nonsense. Come on, Mr. Volmar, let the superhero speak, will you?
I was staying with him at the time, so I'm stuck having a baby.
Are you?
Yeah, I had the baby.
By who?
By you.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
You told
I'm
old
100% sure.
I don't even know his name. You
Look
told your
at that
boyfriend.
baby. That baby looks just like you. She don't look nothing like.
This guy is definitely not taking this seriously at all. He might be a great side piece, but it doesn't look like he will make a good dad one bit. That's why Miss Woods says she didn't want to have a baby with him. But if she really didn't, then why did she sleep with him without protection? Even Judge Lauren asks the same question.
But Miss Woods, you were dealing with him.
Yeah,
That's why we're here.
Because I was going through something with my other
She
kids'
likes the
father.
ignorance, Your Honor.
I was going through something with my other kids' father. At the time, he
You
made
should
me
see what
feel
he looks
good
like.
about myself.
She upgraded when she dealt with me.
Before meeting Mr. Volmar, Ms. Woods had an okay life, but then she messed it up by getting with this side piece? Why would she even do all that? These two are so tiring to listen to.
It was just so much
I was
going
an
on with my other kids' father. Like the fussing and fighting, like I got tired of that.
So let's go cheat on him.
Pretty much.
Good job. Good job.
You sleep with Mr. Volmar, another guy.
No, we had sex. There was no sleeping.
Oh.
Sex.
Oh, Ms. Woods. She ruined her relationship, became a fast breeder for Mr. Volmar, and now is in paternity court. What an extraordinary period for Ms. Woods, our superhero here. And Mr. Volmar shows just how crazy he is when this happens.
When I was in labor giving birth to my child,
You
he
called me
blocked
8
off
months
of his
later.
phone.
8
he
months.
blocked me off of his phone. What you want me to do?
I found out she was pregnant. Within 2 to 3 months, she was gone.
Blocking a woman who could be carrying your baby. Really? But before we check out the results, Mr. Volmar here has one more joke for us. And that happens when Judge Lauren invites a doctor to examine if he really does have a low sperm count.
After the analysis shows that he also had good motility of sperm, which is also important because the sperm have to swim to the egg in order to fertilize it.
How can they swim? I can't swim.
Well, your sperm can certainly
Volmar,
swim.
So you're becoming a clown.
The doctor concludes that it's possible for Mr. Volmar to get a woman pregnant, especially if that woman is a fast breeder. And we all know who the fast breeder in this courtroom is. Let's put an end to this once and for all and find out who's really the father of this baby, Mr. Volmar or someone else.
Mr. Volmar, you are the father.
Thank you. Thank you. You the father. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
You are the father. That is your beautiful little girl.
Exactly. Looking just like him. Thank you, Your Honor.